Hello, and thank you for joining the Journal of Chinese Medicine today. I have the pleasure of being joined by Ian Stones, who is one of the UK's leading fertility and wellness experts and has over 13 years worth of clinical experience. Ian trained at the College of Integrated Chinese Medicine and graduated with a degree in acupuncture in 2007. Since then, he has undergone extensive additional training in acupuncture for fertility. Ian, thank you so much for joining me today. It's such a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. And I'd like to start with, if you could tell us a little bit about what you do, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, sure. So I'm trained as an acupuncturist. That was my training, as you mentioned in the intro. So I'm a traditional acupuncturist, but with a specialist interest in fertility and well-being, but specifically looking at male fertility. But I typically work with couples mid to late 30s that are, they're on that roller coaster of the physical and emotional challenges of IVF and fertility. And I support them through that journey. I help them with their lifestyle, diet, stress management, and just give them all the emotional and physical support that I can to help them hopefully have the family that they've been dreaming of.
Wow, that's fantastic. And can you explain how you got so involved with fertility and male fertility in particular?
Well, the fertility stuff that happened very shortly after I graduated, actually. I got wind of the Zeta West affiliation network that was being set up. So that was where she was pulling together a team of kind of acupuncturists across the UK that they would refer people to. Mm-hmm. So I did some advanced training with them. And it just happened to be at a time, I think, where acupuncture and fertility treatment were kind of being partnered quite nicely together. So because I did that training, because that was going on in the kind of acupuncture and fertility world, I just naturally started seeing more and more fertility clients. Mm-hmm. And I just really enjoy it. I just love working with people over a period of time where I can have a big impact on their health and well-being. And, what couldn't be more rewarding than, somebody coming in and saying that they're pregnant and then coming back 9 months later with their baby. It's such a rewarding part of what I do. And then over the last couple of years, I just became more aware that the men were not coming in for treatment, or not many men were having a conversation. And it made me realize that there was a lack of support in that area. Mm-hmm. So over the last couple of years, I've put a bit more time and focus into that side of my practice and just trying to engage more men in getting the help that they need. It's happening, it's working. But it's a bit of a slow burn, this one. Trying to get the guys involved has been a bit of a challenge.
Mm-hmm. What you do sounds absolutely amazing and incredibly fulfilling and rewarding.
It is.
What are some of those common issues facing men around male fertility, if you don't mind?
Well, it's interesting because, like I say, the men typically don't kind of tend to step forward for treatment or go forward for help. Partly perhaps because there's not enough out there. There's not enough people that are kind of championing male fertility support. So, a lot of the guys, they might go along, let's say a couple's been trying for a couple of years. The guy will then go along to his GP, he'll do a semen analysis, and he might get mediocre to poor results. And generally at that point, not a lot else happens. So the guy ends up feeling a bit lost and a bit kind of unsupported. They don't know where to go, don't know what to do. So, in terms of the problems that they're facing, it's making sure they're managing their lifestyle, their diet, make sure they're taking the supplements if they need to be doing. So, but then also looking at things like, more detailed investigations. I think this is where a lot of the guys kind of lack that support and that direction as to what they can be doing. Between kind of getting a semen analysis result and going for IVF, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. I think that's where guys are getting let down.
Mm-hmm. So I am aware that you also help with a male fertility support group. Could you talk a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, I mean, that was just a dream come true for me. Because I've been trying to do more work around the male fertility arena and get more men in. I had been doing some work with Fertility Network UK, just doing some webinars and providing some articles around male fertility. So they approached me in March 2020, so just as we hit lockdown. And they said, look, we're thinking about setting up this male fertility support group. We've got this guy, Toby, who's one of our ambassadors, and he's been through fertility issues. What do you think about setting up this support group? I was like, yeah, this is amazing. What a great opportunity. So we launched it in April 2020. So there we were in the throes of lockdown. And it was just a huge success. We had 25, maybe 30 guys sign in, join us on this Zoom meeting. And it's been a huge success, and kind of we run it now on a monthly basis. Typically, we're getting 15 to 20 guys. And it's just been incredible, giving guys this chance to join a group with other men that are going through similar issues, because it can be so isolating for a guy to have fertility issues and to think that that was just me, I'm on my own here. But actually, when they join a group and they get this kind of feeling of, okay, I'm not alone, it makes a massive difference. It really does. It's been fantastic to do it.
So pleased to hear how successful it's been, especially, as you said, that it was set up initially during the initial lockdown period. It shows how vital this is, what you're doing, that it was, that successful even then. So that's absolutely incredible. Can I just ask, is there any advice that you would give to men experiencing fertility issues?
I think the biggest piece of advice is probably just to reach out and actually talk to somebody. I think this is one of the things that guys are reluctant to do for the kind of fear of judgment. A lot of guys feel, really kind of self-conscious, or their pride takes a bit of a hit when they're told that they've got fertility issues. Mm-hmm. So they kind of become quite insular and quite reserved. And it's very hard for them perhaps to reach out and talk to somebody. But if they could just take that first step, it's amazing what help and support is out there. So whether that is coming onto the support group or reaching out to somebody like me, where I can offer them more support emotionally and physically, lifestyle, diet, all that kind of thing. Once you get that support, once you just open up, so much more can happen, and it can really help move men forward emotionally and physically around their fertility stuff. So they're getting the right advice and getting directed to the right medical support as well. So yeah, best thing they can do is actually speak up and reach out for help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And is there anything that you would recommend that the friends and family can do to help the men that are going through these issues?
Oh, that's a tricky one, that is. It's what people think are innocent comments of, oh, it only takes one. Oh, just relax, or why don't you book yourselves a nice holiday or go out for a nice meal, then it'll happen. Those comments really don't help a couple or a man. I think showing some compassion and understanding, and it's very hard if you've never been through IVF, if you've got no awareness of fertility struggles, then why would you? But just being there for somebody, being able to listen, is probably the most important thing that friends and family can do. Don't feel that you need to give advice of, oh, I've heard if you do this, stick your legs up after you've had sex with a woman, that sort of advice isn't going to help. Just listen and be compassionate and support them in whatever way you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You've decided to launch a fundraising campaign and a male fertility awareness campaign. Can you tell me about that, and what is it and why you're doing it?
Yeah, slightly crazy project, I must say. So Fertility Network UK do various kind of fundraising events and challenges, and it was probably 6 months before the support group kind of got started. I'd been looking at the Everest base camp trek that they offer, and I was like, oh, that would be really good, just as a kind of a personal goal and challenge, and then to raise money for them. I was like, this would be a great opportunity. I kind of shelved it for a little while. Then we started the support group, and I got chatting to Toby, my co-host, after the first couple of groups, and said, you know what, look, I've been looking at this challenge. What do you think? And he was well up for it. And then I said, well, what about if actually we pull together a whole group of guys to do it? And it's about raising money for Fertility Network UK, and it's about raising awareness of male fertility issues. So I put it to the group, and a lot of the guys were like, yeah, this is awesome. What a great idea. So that's what I'm doing. I was like, what I've decided to do is pull together a team of guys, hopefully 15 to 20 of us. As we're recording this, I've got 8 signed up already. And we're going to do that. We're going to go on a trek to Everest Base Camp. and it's about helping men talk about their fertility issues. It's about raising the awareness of this issue, because men aren't talking about it, because there isn't the support out there for guys. This is a great opportunity for us to do something big that's going to get some attention and allow us to do things like this, get talking about it. Yeah, it's a bonkers trip. I have no idea what I got myself into. I've got a lot of money to raise, but it's already been amazing, and we're only kind of a few weeks into kind of having launched it, and the conversations I'm having, the sponsorship that's coming in, yeah, it's just been amazing. And we've got, we're not going until March 2022, partly because of COVID, partly because of Toby's racing schedule, because he's a racing driver. Also gives us a chance to train. So we got lots of time, and that's good in terms of then just raising this conversation more and more.
Absolutely. It gives you lots of time to get that message out there. What an amazing and impactful way to, raise awareness. It's certainly going to be a endurance test.
Yes. Yeah. Quite. I've got a lot of training to do for sure.
Well, you've got plenty of time. So you mentioned that it was for Fertility Network UK. Can you tell us a little bit more about that charity?
Yeah, they're a wonderful charity, national charity that support people going through fertility struggles, or even have gone through fertility issues and now, kind of facing life without children. They're there to support in whatever way they can. So they have information events, evenings. They do, online classes, online support groups. They did do, obviously before lockdown, they had in-person support groups. And there's people at the end of the phone, when sometimes you've got nowhere else to turn. You don't know who to speak to, friends and family don't know what to say. You can pick up the phone to them, and somebody will be there to help you and guide you. And they're all great people that have kind of been through it or been touched by fertility, so they understand. So yeah, it's great. I'm really, really chuffed to be kind of partnering with them and working with them, because they just, it's nice to give back, I think. And I've been working with fertility for a long time, so it's nice to be able to support charity as well.
Absolutely. They sound like a very valuable resource for a lot of people. So
Definitely.
What a wonderful thing that you're able to do this fundraising on behalf of them. You mentioned before that you've been doing quite well so far with your targets. What are your targets for this adventure?
You talk about my walking targets or my financial targets in fundraising?
Your fundraising targets, yes.
Fundraising, I am aiming, my mind blower would be £10,000. That
Wow.
would just be fantastic. I remember having a conversation with the CEO at FN UK when I was sort of floating this idea, and she was sort of saying that most of their big fundraisers don't raise much more than £6,000 to £8,000. So I would love to break through that. And that's my personal target. At the moment I've got 7 other guys that are doing the same, so they're all aiming to raise maybe £3,000 to £5,000. So it'd be amazing if between us all we could raise 6 figures. That would just be incredible. And Jim at JCM Balance there has been a huge support, and it's really great to have you guys backing me, and kind of shouting about this, but also shouting about this from the perspective of actually acupuncture and the role that we play in the fertility journey for people. So it's really great to have your support as well.
Absolutely. So aside from your financial targets, what are your other targets or aims of doing this?
It's like I said, it's just about getting the message out there. Yeah. It's just, stick me on national TV, on the radio, whatever. I just want to get this subject out there, because for too long men have been kind of sidelined, or they've not felt confident to talk about this stuff. So I just want to make it not this taboo subject, not that men feel, that they're a lesser being because they have a fertility issue. That is not the case. So just the more we can do around this, the more we can create conversation, the more change we can create. That would just be amazing. That really would be, just to know that I've had some kind of impact in that way would just be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And if anybody's listening to this or watching and they're going through fertility issues themselves, is there anything that you would say to them, or any advice that you could give to them?
Well, it depends what their journey is, where they're at. Definitely reach out to Fertility Network UK. get in touch. They've got a contact helpline. They've got people there to support you. And look at things like acupuncture for support, because it's not just about the treatment, it's about the emotional and physical support that goes with that as well. But yeah, reach out, talk to somebody, get some help. You don't have to be on your own with this. It's nice to have someone that's there beside you during the journey.
Mm-hmm. Is there also a way that people can help and get involved, spread your message, or help with fundraising?
Sure. I mean, they can head over to my website, Hove Fertility and Wellness, and I've got a specific page just for the campaign, Base Camp for Fertility. So they can log on there, read a bit more about it. There's then a link, of course, to donate, so they can go to my Just Giving page and then share it on social media as well. I think just try and spread the message as far and wide as possible. Fertility Network UK will be having a page as well. And just generate as much press and PR as we can about this. Let's just talk, get it out there.
Absolutely. I hope that we can help you to get that message out there. And is there a way that people can support you or contact you or the support group if they themselves are affected by these issues?
Sure. So in terms of contacting me, through my website, you'll find my contact details on there. So you can drop me an email or text or WhatsApp message, whatever. And then all the support groups are always listed on the events page on Fertility Network UK. So the male support group is typically 3rd or 4th Wednesday of the month. It might change, depends on our schedules, but it's usually a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, and all the details are on there. So yeah, guys can come along. They don't have to have their cameras on. They don't have to actually join in. They can just sit and listen. We're a really relaxed, welcoming, informal group. We have a bit of a laugh sometimes, but it really helps guys feel connected and helps them move forward with their fertility stuff as well.
Yeah, I suppose in a way it's helpful that COVID has happened, because now men don't have to come physically to the support group. People from all over the country can join digitally, and so the group is open to everybody. It is.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to think that there have been good things that have come out of the whole COVID lockdown thing. There's been some terrible stories, but there have been some great opportunities as well. And I don't think this would have happened without it. Like I said, if we had physical meetings for men, I'm not sure it would have worked so well. It may work for some men, but probably not for a lot. We've had guys from Europe already join us. We have a guy from LA who joins us reasonably regularly. And I was literally just chatting to an IVF clinic today that's in South Africa, and they're looking to promote it to their male clients. So yeah, we have no boundaries on Zoom. So,
absolutely.
Maybe we'll become a worldwide male fertility support group, which is just incredible.
I hope that you do. And it's incredible to know that you're reaching out to, all of those different people across the world already. Hopefully that will grow and grow as you continue with your, fundraising and your awareness. Before we go, is there anything else that you would like to add or say or speak about?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it, haven't we, really? If you're a guy out there that's struggling, just reach out, get in touch. I'm happy to have a chat and help you if I can. Or if you know somebody who's in that boat, then yeah, encourage them to reach out. But no, thank you so much for doing this and being part of this campaign and getting people talking and spreading the word. It's brilliant.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you so much for your time and for everything that you're doing to raise awareness of these issues surrounding male fertility. I just know that it's going to help so many people. If anybody would like to support Ian's cause, you can do so. I will pop a link up at the end of this video. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you.
Thank you.